Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee and we're not cooking today. We are in the pantry and this is my working pantry. And for those of you who may have never seen it or are new to my channel, this pantry used to be a bedroom. And when our kids grew up and moved out, I turned this into a lovely pantry and it is right off my kitchen. So it works well. So I'm going to give you a little tour of that because it is now the end of February and we have done so well with this pantry. I had it so stocked before winter hit that I still got a lot of stuff left. And being that it is about midway through to my next canning season, which is July and August, I wanted to show you just how well it has been working for me. Okay, friends, this is on my shelf. Well, one of them. I've got canned goods. When I pack this full for the winter, I pack canned goods all over in here, everywhere. But this, I have got it down now to just this one shelf. And I have got, well, I just did this. This is my chicken stock that I just did. Oh gosh, maybe last week I did 11 quarts of that. I always supply my daughter, so I'll send, five or six quarts home to her because she uses it too. And I make it so much. We make it a lot. But that's my newest addition is the chicken stock. I've still got a bunch of my canned tomatoes. I've got pizza sauce for my pizzas in the summertime. I've got canned stewed tomatoes, just regular tomato sauce. I've got my beans down there, and I've got on the very bottom, which you can see, I'll point with my foot down there, that is my butter beans, Great Northern beans, and some more beef stock that I have there. I also have, I know a few of you have said, hey, we'd love to make some French onion soup because I made the French onion chicken the other day and I used my home canned soup. This is it. And it's beautiful. And I use the big Vidalia onions to make this. So we will do a video and make some more because I'm only down to 2 quarts and we do use it a lot. And it does make a wonderful soup starter. So I keep that down there. I've got my potatoes. Still, I'm working on these. These are from 2022. And I'm still working on my potatoes. I use them in soups and stuff. And sometimes I just like to take and put some garlic butter and herbs on them and just roast them in the oven a little bit. And they turn out wonderful. Oh my gosh. I've got pint-sized jars of tomato sauce and stewed tomatoes. I've got green beans. These are the jalapenos I grew in my garden last summer. And I canned those up. I pickled them because they're wonderful on pizzas. And I just love jalapenos, friends. I could eat them right out of the jar. But I put them on sandwiches, wraps, pizzas. I put them in so much stuff. Sometimes I put them in soups. I use them a lot, so I grow a lot of them. And I had quite a few of them, and I'm down to 3 jars. So this next year, I'll definitely be growing about twice the amount of jalapeno peppers that I grew last year. And I've got canned fruit here. I've got my wax beans, which I canned, and I canned these in pints. And these are wonderful. I grew these, and I canned these in pints. But these are from 2022, and I found that not too many in my family care for them. So I probably won't grow them again because I like to save space in my garden for things my family's going to eat. And I didn't even sell these very well in my market stand. So this is probably the last of the wax beans that I will grow or can. I grow a lot of beets in my garden because my family loves pickled beets. Look at that beautiful color in that jar. And they love them. Even my friend that's staying here with me, she loves these too. They're good in salads, on a side, on a relish tray. And I do have some things in here that are already jarred that I bought for my pizzas. I bought a case of these sun-dried tomatoes. These are very expensive, but I got a really good deal on these. These are sun-dried tomatoes in oil. They're beautiful. And they're already cut into strips, so I don't have to worry about, slicing them up any farther. So I got that. And up here is all my freeze-dried and my dried good and some of my spices that are, overflow. I go through a lot of this stuff. I use a lot of this. These are beans and bok choy I use for soups. These are my lentils, my split peas, more beans. Up here, I keep my breads up here. I crush them up because I make my own breadcrumbs. So I save all the ends of my breads and, rolls that we might not go through or biscuits, whatever. I save it all. And just like this, I got it on a little tray and I just let them dry. And then when I get a bag full, I crush them up and then I mix them up and put them right over here. Is my little jar that I keep for breadcrumbs. And it's usually full, but I just used it because I breaded a lot of chicken for the freezer. And let's see. This, my friends, I want to let those of you know who bought me Salad Supreme. You all sent me so much Salad Supreme. I've got a beautiful quart jar that's going to last me quite some time. And I thank you so much for that. I couldn't find it, and I'm an Amazon junkie too. And I couldn't find it on there. I don't know why. This is more bread that I'm drying, bread cubes. I'm going to dry those and grind them up too. But I got a lot of stuff on my top shelf. Oh, you can't see over here. This is all, I make my own wild rice mix. So this is all wild rice. And I do sell this because I buy it in bulk. I do sell this in my market stand, but it is very pricey. So I try to find the best deal so that I can pass it on to my own customers in my market stand. This is another big seller of mine, and people have always asked me, this is vegetable flakes, and people have always asked me, do you make your own veggie flakes? No, I don't. Now, when I was using my dehydrator a lot, there would be flakes in the bottom, on the bottom rack that I would save, absolutely. But I buy mine in bulk because I sell so much of it, there's no way I could make it and keep up. But this stuff is wonderful. And I just literally filled this because I just ordered my, 25-pound box of this, bag of this. So that's nice too. I've got green beans. Now, let me turn my camera. You can see my green beans over here on the top shelf. I canned more than what my family went through. And my close friends, I'll give them my canned stuff, but I can't sell my home canned goods out in my market stand because that's against the cottage law. And I am right on the money to my cottage law, right down to my labels. So I can't sell them. And some of them have gotten beyond, I don't like to use my stuff past about 3 years. The third year, I get it used up, or the chickens eat. And I know some of you would beg to differ with me both ways. Some people would say you can only use it for a year and then you need to get rid of it. And others say, as long as that seal's not broken and it's not leaking or bulging, you're good, it's good, But no, I don't like to use it past 3 years. That's always been my rule of thumb. So the chickens got a lot of the green beans because I had so many. So these are what I canned up 2 years ago, between last year, 24 last year. So I probably won't, now I'll grow a bacoodle of green beans because I sell them by the bushels, but I won't can as many because I also have a lot in the freezer and I also have a lot freeze dried. So I'm going to give myself a break on canning and freezing and freeze drying any more green beans for another, probably just this next season. and then I'll start back in again. But I will grow a lot of them because I do sell a lot of them. And that works out well. These are my carrots. I'm down to just 3 pints, and I did a whole lot of these. I did probably 24 pints in the fall. And these are all the rainbow carrots that I grew in my garden. And you probably can't tell, but there are some that are lighter and darker than the others. That's the rainbow. I had yellows and the red carrots and the orange carrots. I just had a rainbow color. It was beautiful. I just wish that when you did the canning, and I know those ladies of you that can right along with me, wouldn't you love it if your jars could be that pretty color, that keep their same color when they come out of the canner as they did before they went in? Because this would have been a beautiful jar. I'm telling you, the colors, but you do lose it when you process it. And like your burgundy beans, your red burgundy beans, I grow a lot of them because I do sell a lot of them, but they turn green when you cook them. And too bad they didn't keep that lovely color they have. This is a big thing of peppercorns. I buy my peppercorns in bulk too. Okay. Now, this is just my rolling pins and my little odds in because my microwave is right here. And my jar of blow pops for my grandkids, which is almost gone. But anyway, let's see. Oh, I'm down to, you see me do, when we do a lot of cooking, you see me do a lot of the dehydrated, use my dehydrated potatoes. I buy those. I don't buy them from Amazon. And I'm telling you, don't buy them from Amazon because they're like $15 to $17 for a great big 52-ounce container. You can get it for $10 at Sam's. So find somebody with a Sam's Club membership and get them because they're wonderful to have in your pantry. I started out this year with 6 of those boxes, and I did purchase them from Sam's. This is what I have left. So I'm going to have to order more here probably next month, or maybe even before next month, because I plan to do some more hash brown casserole that my family loves. So we gotta keep it working. So I'll have to order more. Oh gosh. This I give to my friends because Tracy always gives me these. Okay? I'm a Yankee. Yankees don't eat grits. I don't like grits. And I'm just being funny. No offense to anybody. I tell people I don't like sweet tea either. I'm a Yankee. We don't drink sweet tea. But my husband loves the stuff, you know. Anyway, I don't like grits. And Tracy don't like grits. And she always gets this when she gets her 5-caps to foods. Anyway, she always gives me the grits. She's like, I know you know somebody who'd like them. Well, it just happens to be our other best friend. I'm like, why do you give them to me to give to her? You give them to her yourself. But yeah, I give them away because there are a few people up here that eat them. But I don't. It's a southern thing, you know. Oatmeal is what we eat a lot of. Anyway, that's enough of that funny. I was just poking fun. No offense. I don't want nobody to be hating on me. Let's see. That is... Oh, this is just overflow of my spices. And I've got all my little gravy mixes up here. I'm sorry. I got my gravy mixes here. I've got my beef barley, you know, my black sunflower seeds for my Ubek bread that I make in my outdoor wood-fired oven. And we will do that this summer because the outdoor kitchen, I cannot wait for the snow to go away so I can get out there because it's all finished. All I need to do is order all my supplies for it, you know, all my cooking supplies, my utensils, stuff like that, and then we can get out there and we can get cooking. And I bought this because I love Ubek bread. Oh my goodness, bread is just divine coming out of that wood-fired oven. And you sprinkle it with the black and the white sunflower, or not sunflower seeds. I'm so sorry. Sesame seeds. These are black sesame seeds, not sunflower seeds. But you sprinkle it with the black and white sesame seeds, and that stuff is just to die for. We're going to make some because I make it quite a bit. Okay, let me turn you around and I'll show you the other shelf. Slowly here. There we go. On the bottom, I've got beans. I've got beans coming out my kazoo. I'm telling you, I grow a lot of beans. And Tracy gives me a lot of beans. So I just mix them, and I make mixed beans, and I do bean soup. I do bean packs for my market stand, all kinds of stuff. So I do sell a lot of beans. I give a lot of beans away, and we eat a lot of beans. So that shelf there is just my odds and ends. I've got my pastini pastas. My pastini is all in that bucket with the white lid. I've got that. I've got tortillas on top of it. And then, of course, my grandkids and my husband love ramen noodles. Well, I got a couple other things sitting in there right now because I just haven't put them away yet. But that bucket mostly is for ramen noodles. I got my puddings. A lot of it is sugar-free jellos and puddings for desserts for John and my friends because they're both diabetic. So I got that. I've got an overflow of canned goods, juice, all my soups, and my coffee. We keep our coffee because I have a couple cups a day, but John maybe have 1 cup of coffee a day, but we do go through a lot of coffee because we got friends that come over. This here is my treasured cookbooks. This one is my favorite, friends. This cookbook was my mother's and my grandmother's and my great-grandmother's. And I'm just, I lost my mother, what was it? 3 years ago now? In May, it'll be 3 years. And I miss her terrible. And I'd sit down with my cup of coffee and I'd open up this cookbook and I'd see something and I'd just start bawling. And I know I'm almost 60 years old, but anytime you lose your mama, you feel like an orphan. So it was a long time before, and I still, it bothers me. It was a long time before I could really look at that. I still have trouble. But that's a treasure. And I'll pass that down to my grandbabies. But those are all my favorite cookbooks. And I get a lot of my recipes. Some of these are Amish cookbooks. Some of them are just, like this one I found at where was it I found this one at? I'm not really sure. I think I got this at Goodwill, okay? And I love it. It's got so many. I did the video on a couple of things that were in here, but some of the things you can freeze for freezer meals, and I just love it. And the only cookbook that I have of mine, which is just about wore out, is my little Homestead Pantry. And I'm having a ball with my cookbooks, friends. I love writing cookbooks. I love coming up with recipes and writing cookbooks and sharing them. And I've cooked quite a few things out of here. I've sold a lot of these cookbooks, and I know those of you who bought one, I thank you, and I hope you enjoy it for many years to come. And by the way, I should tell you, I have started my 4th cookbook, and I know you're going to love it when I finish it. And please don't ask me, when is it going to be done? I have no idea. I just started gathering all my recipes for it and putting things aside and organizing it, so it's still in the organizing, planning stage. But when it's done, it'll be a good one. So up here is all my spices. And those, a lot of my spice blends, I make my own. I put together my own. Oh, you can't see it. I'm so sorry. I got beside myself looking at that cookbook. Okay. That's all my spices. Not all of them. Over there was my overflow. I told you that. But most of my spices, I put together my own. Just like This right here. This is my own onion soup mix. And I've got videos, I've got recipes on it too. So, you know, you can always wing through my videos and you'll find it. Just search it up. But I do a lot of my own spice blends because my mother was a spice blend queen, I'm telling you. And I've got all her recipes for her spice blends. And I use every one of them. There's only one that I don't have. And it just eats at me because I cannot figure it out. I'm not as good as she was. But I have got, she gave me a spice blend. I'm going to put this down a little. There. She gave me a spice blend about 6 months before she passed away for soup. And I loved it. It just made my soup taste fabulous. And I kept telling her, Mama, we got to write that recipe down. I want that recipe. You know, and she says, oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Well, my mother passed away and we never got to it. And I can't figure it out for the life of me. But so that's something that I can't pass that one down to any of my kids or grandkids because that one's lost forever. But I've got a lot more of them. And most all my spices, most all of them, some of the herbs I grow my own, but most of my spices I buy in bulk because I do sell them in my market stand. And it's just, I sell them like crazy. I almost can't keep up. I almost need 2 buildings out there, you know, to fit in everything that people are buying. I'm constantly stocking it. And I'm not complaining. Because I keep everything as reasonably priced as I can. I mean, I don't get rich on it, if you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't get rich on it. But spices, I love spices. I know there's people that say, well, you only need 5 really you only need 5 major spices in your spice cabinet and you can get away with that. Yes, that's true, but I like spices. Now up here, I've got pastas on the top shelf. I got pastas. I got some of my powdered sugar. I got some wheat flour, my oatmeals, just my big containers that won't fit on the other shelves. And then this is all my condiments and coffee and things that I use pretty much every day. And I got everything. I got beer up here because I use that for beer batter. I always got a couple bottles of beer in my pantry because I like to make beer bread and beer batter. And, so that's what I use. That's good. The second one down is all my store-bought boxed items for lazy days. You can take a box of au gratin potatoes and you can doctor it up into a beautiful casserole, So I got that for easy days, Usually if I'm not feeling well and John cooks, that's what he'll do. So I got a lot of that. Stuffing. I got shelf-stable milk on here that I use for baking a lot. I use in my breads a lot. Peanut butter and then peanuts. And then, maybe you can see it, behind my mixer. You can't see that too well. But that's all flours and cocoa powder and cornstarch. And, I got wheat germ there. All kinds of stuff that I use. Okay, and you'll see down here's a lot of my canned goods, my store-bought canned goods. I got everything in there, all my veggies. I've got fruits. It's all categorized. And then I got beans and more on the very bottom. I got beans and canned tomatoes, store-bought tomatoes. And then on the very bottom, you can't see it too well, but that's all my cereals and crackers and all my other odds and ends down there. And then I've got, you can see over here, the bottles of oil. I've got all my oils down there. I've got, what are those? Animal crackers. I buy those in the big 5-pound buckets from Sam's for my grandbabies. They love them. So, and then on this shelf, you'll see right here, these cans right here, these are evaporated skim milk. So I use those a lot in baking. I love those. My neighbor gives those to me, and I love them. I use them all the time. And then I've got my little food saver in here. I do got an industrial size one downstairs, but sometimes I don't want to go downstairs just to, you know, vacuum seal one item. So I got that in here for a spare. And then my big mixer. This is my Big Daddy mixer. This is like a prized possession. I paid $500 for this, $508 out the door. I love the thing. It's a Vivor, although I didn't get it from their website. I bought this at Home Depot, and it's been a dream. I love it because I bake lots of breads, lots of goodies, lots of cookies, pizza dough for our summertime pizzas. I do big, huge amounts for my market stand. So one of the small, like I used to have a 9-quart, it just didn't keep up. So I was to a point where I needed something bigger, and I love that because it just does wonderful. If those of you are in a market to buy, this one is a 15-quart mixer. And if you're ever in the market to buy a 15-quart mixer or larger, Vivor is the place to go because I'm telling you, they've got good quality products. And this is an old but trusty microwave. This was in my husband's truck, and I never use it. I might melt butter or chocolate in it, but we very seldom use it. But because I do use it to melt butter and melt things, I keep it up here because I do a lot of baking, so I use it quite a bit for that. But to reheat food, no, friends, I don't want to reheat food in a microwave. I like reheating my stuff in the oven. Down on the bottom, you can see that I've got, let's see, down here, right there. Those are my cookie cutters and all my decorating stuff for my cookies that I sell in the market stand. I got my industrial scale there, a step stool because otherwise I can't reach the top shelves of anything in here. And then my seed bucket is there. I brought that up. That's usually downstairs in the cold, but I brought that up because it's getting close to the time to get out in my greenhouse, and I ordered a bunch of new seeds, so I needed it up here. So there you go, friends. This is my working pantry. It is one of my favorite places in my house beside, you know, my kitchen. And I love it, and I just wanted to share with you. That behind that door, I know you're going to ask me, that's a closet. And I keep, I'll show you. You could never see in there. My granddaughter got in there. But I keep my buckets. I keep, I've got stuff hanging in there, my bags, my tax papers. I got shelves in there from ceiling to the floor. And I've got that filled with extra Ziploc bags, some of my smaller appliances, and my packaging, my labels, all kinds of stuff is stored in there. But I can't take the camera in there because it's so dark you'd never see it. But that's all I got in there. Anyway, that's my working pantry, friends. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. I hope it gives you inspiration to start your own pantry. Even if you can use an old utility closet, if that's all you have, use it. Before I had a pantry, I had stuff shoved under beds, under the stairs, in closets, on shelves, wherever I could put it. I had stuff stored. So now it's all in a central location, and it is a very good and healthy working pantry. And I continue to stock it all the time. And what's nice about it is I have it so stocked for the two of us and our, and our family, that all I have to do when I go to the store anymore is just buy what's on sale that we use, or unless I need something special for a recipe. But that's how I like to shop, and this is how I love to keep my pantry. So you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me in my pantry. I'll see you in the next video, friends. And as always, thanks for watching.